Welcome to Ohmwreckers, a series dedicated to highlighting the plays that rock the Rift. We're going to be taking a look at a select game for the previous weeks and bringing it down to find out the very reason why. Team wasn't picked all that often, but first, an introduction. Since the start of the CCS, we've seen a lot of changes to the league. Rosters have been moved, teams have stepped up to claim the top spots on the scoreboard, and the scene looks completely different from week 1. Let's take a look at what the standings are now. The Raiders and the Sea Slugs take up the first two spots on our rankings, both sporting an impressive double-digit win count. On their heels are 200 Years KW and the Rare River Ducks, where the former still has a couple of matches to finish before they solidify their placing. The Molly Papas have finally broken their 50% win ratio, and behind them are Kronk's Junior Chipmunks as well as the new best friends. Just the Tips still at the bottom of the pack, but are still kicking. Let's talk about how the Raiders are doing so well, and what we might be looking forward to in the future. With me is ALL2COOL, the captain and AD carry for the Raiders. Ray, how you doing tonight?
Hey, how's it going?
So let's take a step back for a while, if you don't mind. I want to be hearing about the precursors. So what games were you able to play as a kid?
Played Sonic growing up a lot. My parents on a Sega Genesis back in the day.
How did you end up getting involved in League to start off with?
I first started League right when I joined college. As I had a friend over, we would play it or whatever because they wanted to or they wanted me to play it. But I've always been more of a person that's been into more multiplayer games. So the big fact is that it is like a lot of my friends are playing it. Went back to college one time and met a whole different group of people, and they ended up dragging me into back in the league. Shoutouts to A Gray Star 1 for that one. Okay, so this is actually more of my philosophy in gaming. I actually game to play with friends and stuff like that, and a lot of my friends are like interested in it and have been for years at this point with me, so that helps. And I know that this is like kind of ironic and funny, right? But the gameplay loop itself and the competitiveness of each game actually is the thing that keeps me from going to something else.
So what other games do you play socially besides, League?
Warframe is a big one. Big fan of that. You either love it or you hate it. There is no in between. A lot of the role games that come out, so like Trouble in Terrorist Town and Gary's Mod, Among Us, your big name like role games are really fun, and I've been playing those. But yeah, those are kind of like the games that I've been playing recently.
That's awesome. So when you were starting to play League, what champs were your favorite to really start out and play?
Oh God, you're taking me back. Back when I first started, it was literally whatever was meta I was playing, and then whenever I got back into the game, it was I stuck on Warwick for a very long time because at that point I picked up jungle. And I was like, all right, let's do this. And I was playing with just friends and just having some fun. But it was always like every role, everybody was like always fighting over every other role. So at that time, I was just like, I'll just pick up jungle and play it. And play jungle back when I picked League back up and played that for like a couple years. But it was Warwick. The new rework was huge. I've always really liked Evelyn, but she goes in and out of my pool whenever I do play jungle, because I don't really play jungle anymore. But when I do, whenever I get back to it, I always like play one game of Warwick, like one game of like Evelyn, just because like I just like the way she feels most of the time. But there are just some times that it's just like the items or something just don't really like agree with how she is at that point, and I'm just like,
Now, let's take a minute to talk about Penn State and the elephant in the room. You entered the scene right before graduating, and you started out as a support, am I right?
Yes, so, actually, that's where I met you, is the first season that I started there. You and I were on the same team. I don't know if you remember, but it was the spring semester, super funny thing. We both wanted to be on teams. I saw you posted a video on the Penn State Discord, just like trying to like get recruited for one of the teams. And I messaged you and I was like, yo, do you want to make a team so we'll have a team? And we put together just a bunch of random people. We actually found yogurt on floor from that.
Anyways, how did your experience there as a support shape your next steps?
So my biggest thing was then I've always had an issue with the jungle, so at that point, I wanted to shift out of jungle, and it was just kind of like, all right, I like support. I've always liked how there are a lot of different things you can do in support. First semester in Penn State, you and I played some very interesting things in the bot lane. My staple back then was orange support. Yeah. Had some Pantheon in there too. Some before everybody was like, yo, Pantheon support's busted. Yeah, we had some good games there, but it really it made me appreciate 5-man so much more, because whenever you have a team and you all synergize well and you all have a game plan going in, it really helps you shape your love for this game, because it's exactly how things are supposed to go. You don't have that one random that's gonna get angry at you for plays or whatever, and it's like you have a bunch of people that are in it to win and to play hard, but you have a bunch of people that are like playing together to get better together and develop that team synergy and everything. And I think that's like a big thing that has just made me like chase this League of Legends.
All right. Thanks so much for giving a bit of a look into your history. Now, let's focus on last week, right? You faced Just the Tip. Tell me about your team's game plan going into the match.
So our game plan going into the match, something that we always do beforehand, like earlier in the week, is we start having the conversation about what we want to do as a team. And it's more than just team comp. It's more than just like a thought process. It's okay. How are we going to play and go step by step all the way through this game? And obviously that's going to adapt once the game really starts. But we start with thinking about that kind of thing beforehand and thinking about what the enemy team is going to do. So like with Just the Tip, we knew they had just switched, I want to say 2 players before they played us. So we had 2 new players that were coming in, and so we focused more on what historically their win con was, which the games that I have watched of that has always been achievements ends up getting big in one way or another, and even if he starts out behind and he's behind in the first 10 minutes, he will start absorbing farm and becoming as big as possible. So something that we planned around on that is we planned our bans against him specifically without giving somebody that is super comfortable on a specific champion to that champion. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to take away people's like super comfort picks and super like good champions that they're on.
Now that we've got the first draft finished right here, what are your win conditions for the Raiders?
We knew that it was going to be either Lucian mid or ADC the whole time. As we started to get the Orin and Swain, we were like, okay, it's probably going to be Lucian ADC. In terms of a win con here, it was Xayah's going to come online once she hits a certain amount of items. Lux is going to be able to help her in bot lane to like really just give her time to scale and be able to help others with zoning and everything else. You have Fizz, somebody who scales super hard, who is an assassin, who is able to snowball and able to start like going hard. And then of course you have Wukong and Garen, 2 people that love to get people around them, love to start spinning and just doing a ton of damage. So our win con here, focus mid and top, because Xayah is going, once she hits 3 items and 4 items, she starts 3-tapping people and just deleting everyone. The whole goal here is to just get Garen and Fizz far enough ahead so that they can close out the game, or wait for Xayah to really hit that like 3-4 item and then just start popping absolutely everybody.
Alright, let's jump into the game here. This is the first actually somewhat big skirmish happening. Can you walk us through the comms on this as it plays out, excuse me?
Oh, I will 100% try. So let me just look real quick. So we have something that our top laner does, and I absolutely love him for it, is every time we see that there's going to be a fight or something around Dragon, he starts screaming if he has teleport up. Like, absolutely yelling. And it's phenomenal, because he's like, I can TP, just so we know that we have to yell at him back if we want him to, because he's in a perfect spot up there. He knows where the whole enemy team is. He knows that we have no worries back here. So he sees right here. He starts telling us in bot lane, "Hey, we need to come." You see the teleport come in, and you see Fizz starting to rotate down. Arkin does go down, but we have Fizz and Garen here. We're getting pushed out of bot. I look up, see that they're perfectly fine in this, and then just try and keep their bot lane in lane as long as possible. And as they start rotating up, I'm telling if I remember correctly, I think I'm telling them to back off at this point because they're coming up and we can't get there. But then we start rotating up and we just end up going in on them, and just we just get lucky at this point because of the fact that like everybody on us is there. And I remember getting kind of, I was like, Rizo, please stop. I didn't realize, I just saw that he was going in and that we were back there, so.
If we skip forward a little more, the Raiders end up on the back foot, almost 5k down in gold. Then, Just the Tip decides to take their second Drake. And we have to talk about the massive cojones of Cygnus here.
To be fair, if you look at him right now, he is 3-0-2 with 144 farm. More than anybody in the game. This dude is massive. All the characters he plays as well, he's ever since I've met him in 2017, I believe? 2017 or 2018. He's played these characters since then. So like, there is no character that he plays that he doesn't have a ton of mastery on. So he knows exactly how powerful he is specifically at this point, and he just he looks at that and goes, "Oh, I got this," and he just goes in. Right now he yells. He's like, "I'm going in." So, and then we can watch this man do work. I mean, that's kind of like part of just knowing that he has so much time in the champions that he plays, that he knows how comfortable he is in able to go in on those three, not knowing that fourth was coming, but knowing that he could have killed all three of them. The Ornn ends up getting away, which he perfectly fine with. He's not one of the ones that over chases most of the time. But he knew what he could do, and I think that's the biggest point. So
that's great. I mean, we're just seeing the wrap of the team fight. Really good Luxar at this point, just completely zones them out.
Absolutely. You look at the mastery of this man on Lux, it's like 85 million. Not really, but he's got so much. I think he almost has 2 million mastery on Lux. And absolutely, he just knows how to set things up like that. In his mind, it all works out. It's like that he's doing trigonometry while the rest of us are just doing like addition.
Now, as we're fast forwarding through the rest of the game, all the pressure given way by the Raiders was so Rhysopus could really get ahead in the bot lane, right? In this team fight, the Raiders get caught out, but the front line is just so big and chunky that the results end up going your way.
I actually think in the beginning of this fight that I end up getting caught out because I hard jumped here, as I like to say.
And let's just play this through. Now, Achievements does a very good job at trying to zone everyone out, right?
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, you land a pretty nasty snag on a Brownbert, which delays his engage all the further. How do you guys end up pulling this off from here?
I die. Cygnus is on his way, but at this point, our team fight here is just really good. So we're able to do a lot of damage to all of them. Arkin and Resurrect Zero right there, just finishing up stuff. And as Cygnus is coming in, he did tell us he was backing. It would have been smarter for us to not have done that, but at this point, it's just Cygnus is just running right at him.
Because if we go into game 2 stuff, so the Raiders went down pretty early on in the match. A lot of scrappy fights just really didn't go down your way. How does this team fare against the bad roll of the die?
This play specifically, is just a perfect example of if you trust your team, it goes well. I, running from base, start screaming, go in, go in, go in. Knowing that this wasn't going to go specifically horribly, but not great either, I knew that I was going to make it before everything went down. And as you see in this, I just ult, get a ton of damage off, just start killing one after the other after the other.
All right. Let's talk about the final fight here. About 5 minutes before this, Just the Tip funneled into this almost exact point trying to contest your last Drake and got stomped by the onslaught of just MF and Twitch ults. And here we are again trying to contest your next Drake. What was your initial thought going into this fight, and how did this set up the closeout of the game for the Raiders?
A big part about here is I would like to preface the fact that they have to go in here. The unfortunate thing is that the three here are separated from the other two right now, and that's something that is huge, and that as this fight will progress, you will see that it makes a huge deal that, like, the three of them are shown there, we have vision on them, we see what they're doing, and we're able to plan around where they all are.
That's great. That's just ended up how you guys closed out the game. So if we look to the future, your next couple games are against the Molly Papas and 200 Years KW. Can you give us any insights into any plans for the games, maybe?
I can give you a little something. So for 200 Years KW, I'm super excited to face them because, as everyone knows, Yogurt on Floor, great mid laner. Somebody that you and I actually met him at the same time, as well as each other, back in the day. But somebody that I'm super excited to go against his team and really give him a pick that he's comfortable on, because I want to beat him and his team when he has one of those picks that he is able to carry on. It might be, I will have to talk to my team about this a lot and try and convince them, because I know that we do draft prep as a team, and we talk about it as a team, so it's something that I'm going to have to convince them to allow me to do and allow us to do, but I really looking forward to playing them.
That's great. So I was gonna say you gotta be excited for going into the second half of the split for how the first one panned out, right?
Yeah, I'll call out specifically Numair and Xenomore. We as a team, we're coming for you guys.
Damn.
There's a lot of teams that I'm really excited to play again.
All right, a little bit of hint of what might to come. All right, I want to thank you so much for coming in on the first episode of Ohmwreckers. I can't wait to see what you have in store for the future. I don't really know what the future holds, but I hope it's got some exciting plays in it for us to capture. Stay safe, mask up, and I'll see you in the next fight. This is Kata, signing off.